Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go through why you're not losing belly fat. So this is going to be like a no bullshit video. I'm just going to explain everything that you're probably doing, which is making you keep a bigger belly. Even if you're a skinnier guy and you have like a skinny, what we call a skinny fat body, I'm going to explain how you can fix it. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to go into the mistakes that you're most likely making, that most people tend to make, and they are understandable mistakes. It's very easy to make these mistakes. So I'm just going to go through them and then you can fix them. So first mistake, and I keep having a go at my clients for this. Like they'll know, they're probably watching this. I keep having a go at them. Your sleep is shit. I don't have much of a go at them anymore because now they've fixed their sleep. But at the start, I was really being at their case a lot because they weren't fixing the sleep. They didn't think it was like such a big deal, right? So they were sleeping like 6 hours, maybe 7 hours on a good day. It's not enough, man. Not enough. If you're serious about getting results, we need 8 hours deep sleep. Okay, 8 hours deep sleep, and at least most nights. I know some nights you can be busy with work. You might be staying up. You might have to get up early to go work. I understand, but at least try to get 8 hours of deep sleep. And the earlier you sleep, the better. The better sleep quality is going to be because it's at the 8 hour point that you start to really build more muscle and lose more fat. So it's really, really going to help you, and you'll perform better in your workouts as well, which is going to mean more progress. Okay, cool. So sleeping bad is one big mistake. Second mistake I would say is miscounting calories. Let's say miscounting daily calories, just to kind of like simplify it. So what I'd say is like it's very easy to miscount your calories and underestimate how many calories you're eating. I think they did a study on this. I think a lot of people like tend to underestimate their calorie intake by about, I forgot the numbers, but it's by a lot. It was an interesting study. So what I'd say is you need to get a food scale. I'm not saying you have to measure every meal, like you don't want to be a flipping weirdo. Just measure like the foods that you most commonly eat, so you know like how much, how many calories are in one serving of like pasta. Let's say you eat pasta regularly, or like peanuts. Well, peanuts are really high in calories, but just certain snacks and stuff. So you know how many calories there are in per serving, and then later on you'd have to like keep measuring it. You know, by just kind of assuming it, and you'll have a better estimation of like how many calories are in there and how much protein is in there, etc. And I would say like you need to also use a good app, man, like a calorie counting app. I like the app called Fat Secret. It's a free app that you can use. It's on both Android and iPhone. Make my clients use it. I use it myself as well. There's another app as well called MyFitnessPal. Whatever works at the end of the day, as long as you get used to using it properly. So I'm gonna make sure you track everything that goes into your body. That includes drinks. That includes your kids' leftovers. That includes anything that you're eating, any sort of snack, any sort of food, and even drinks as well. It's easy to drink a lot of calories. So just so you can start becoming more aware, I'll tell people like it's not about being some psychopath who's like super strict and counting down to like the exact calorie. It's not really about that. It's more about just being more aware of what's going into your body. Okay, so it's being aware. Once you have awareness, I'm just gonna put that in here. Once you have awareness and you know like how many calories you're actually eating, it's very easy to then make changes and start losing weight because obviously we want to be in a calorie deficit to lose some body fat. Okay, cool. I'm gonna fit one more mistake on this before I rub it all out, and this is gonna be overeating healthy foods. It's a big mistake. Now, don't get me wrong, your health will improve if you're eating a lot of healthy foods like nuts and dates and all sorts. I'm not saying you can't eat them either. I'm just saying you need to be aware of how much of them you're eating and how many calories that's totaling up to. Because it's very easy to start overeating and snacking on healthier foods that are high in calories. And even though they're going to be good for your health, they're not going to be good for your weight loss. It's going to be piling on some fat, which we don't want. So certain things like peanuts are really high in calories. Uh, Orange juice, stuff like that. One glass of orange juice is like 100 calories. One cup of peanuts is like 700 calories off the top of my head, but that's a lot, and you wouldn't expect it. Like you would think, I'm eating healthy, I'm eating less calories. It's not always the case. So yeah, just you need to start getting aware of like what you're eating and how many calories and how much protein is in there. Those are the two most important things to look at when it comes to like building your body. Next thing is you're doing too much cardio. I'm gonna write down too much focus on cardio. You can't focus on just doing cardio at the gym. I see this all the time. Like people want to lose weight, they go to the gym, they just do cardio because they heard it's good, it burns calories, and it does. But you don't want to just do cardio. The mistake isn't that you're doing cardio; it's what you're not doing. You're not doing enough lifting or weightlifting or lifting your body weight. Yeah. So we want to actually do some sort of like resistance training, whether that's lifting weights, lifting dumbbells, lifting you know, weight machines or lifting your body weight and doing some calisthenics, you're most likely not doing enough lifting, because that's what's going to build your muscle. You need to build muscle. Building muscle, you know, lifting is going to build muscle, and naturally muscle mass speeds up metabolism. Okay, so naturally your metabolism is going to be faster, meaning that when you're not even working out, you're going to be burning more calories just because you have more muscle mass on your body, because it requires more energy to keep that muscle. So yeah, you need to be lifting some weights regularly, at least 2 to 3 times a week. Having some good weightlifting sessions or like lifting your body weight is really going to make a big difference in your fat loss journey. And on top of that, you're going to build some muscle, hopefully in the right places if you're training right, and that's going to make a big difference to how you look and feel. Okay. Right, so next mistake is you've got really high stress. If you've got really high stress, it's really going to impact your ability to build muscle. You're more easily going to gain more fat, and it's just not going to help you. Like, you don't want to be in a situation where you're really stressed out and you're not managing it properly, because what's going to happen is you're going to be more likely to snack on the wrong foods as well. You're going to get more cravings, and you're going to be less likely to be able to recover from your sessions properly, which we don't want. So you need to find a way to manage your stress and reduce your stress. Okay, and obviously sleeping more is going to help as well. So sleeping more. If you have bad sleep, you most likely have high stress. So make sure you sleep enough 8 hours or at least 7 hours consistently. It's going to make a big difference. Okay, cool. Next, we're going to talk about spot reducing belly fat. A lot of you think that you can target belly fat, but you can't spot reduce belly fat. You can't. There's no way to target the fat that's on your belly. I'm going to tell you the truth about this right now. So when it comes to your body, we tend to have most of our fat on our bellies, and it tends to also be the last place where your fat goes. Like, you might see yourself, like if you're losing weight, you might see your face start to look leaner first, your arms and other places, but your belly is the last place to start, like, you know, losing fat. So yeah, you just kind of can't target it. There's no amount of like sit-ups you could do or like ab exercises to try and like target fat in that area. And same goes for your chest. For your arms, there's no chest exercise or arm exercise that's going to target the fat in that area. You can't do it. But what you can do is you can stay in a calorie deficit. You can lift regularly every week, you know, 2 to 3 times per week. You can keep your protein intake high every day, improve your sleep, and naturally your belly fat will start to go, but it'll be your total body fat that's getting reduced. And yeah, your belly fat's the last place to go. You're just gonna have to carry on losing fat, and yeah, that's all you can do. But yeah, you can still lose your belly fat. It's just not like you can't directly lose it by targeting it with certain exercises. And look, some of you guys, you're on the right path. You're on the right path to make progress. You're just not patient enough. You know, you train for 1 month, you try this for 1 month, 2 months. You're on the right path. You just have to carry on going. Not patient enough, though. Nothing worth having comes easy. It takes some time. Sometimes, why do you think most people are not in shape? It takes time. It's not just hard work. It does take time. Now, obviously, we can make our strategy smart and like make things easier, so you know exactly what you're doing. You know what's working, because that'll keep you motivated. But it's gonna take at least a few months till your body looks quite different, even if you're doing everything right. Till your body looks really different, and people are saying, "Yo, you look different." That's gonna take a few months. Normally, it does. Can happen a bit quicker, but give yourself enough of a time frame. If you give yourself a really short time frame, say I'm gonna do it in 1 month. Do what in 1 month? You're not gonna get ripped in 1 month, likely anyways. Unless you did something super extreme, and even then you wouldn't be able to keep that. You wouldn't look good or feel good. But yeah, you need to be more patient. If you give yourself a longer time frame, you've got a much higher rate of success, much higher chance of success. I mean, but yeah, you rub this off. But those are two big mistakes. Like, these two things stop a lot of people from getting the body that they want. Okay, you need to be patient enough, honestly. And yeah, time's gonna go anyways. Like, you might be, oh, it's gonna take me 3 months. Yeah, well, 3 months is gonna go by just like this, and you're gonna be in the same place or worse if you don't actually try and stick to it. Next mistake, you rely on quick fixes. You don't want to rely on quick fixes like Ozempic, I've heard of, or other medications that will help you lose fat permanently. You don't want to rely on certain things like, I don't know, different fad diets, let's say. You don't want to rely on I don't know, detox teas they call them. All of this is just BS, really, basically. I'm going to explain why. Okay, so with stuff like Ozempic and fat diets, yeah, you can lose some fat and whatever, but you won't be able to keep the results long term. Because what happens when you stop taking that? What happens when you stop following that fat diet that was making you feel like shit, anyways? You know what I mean? Like, you don't end up skinny and weak because you were on some fat diet for really long or you're on some sort of medication. It's just really going to mess with you. Detox teas, all they do is they speed up digestion. So, stuff like apple cider vinegar and I don't know what other detox teas there are. There's a lot of them on the market. All they're going to do is help you lose more water weight quicker, and it will make your belly like temporarily go down and go flat. And you'll be thinking, "Oh, I'm losing fat." You're not really. Okay, so yeah, there's no real like quick shortcut. This stuff you can't cheat your way to getting a result. I'm just going to be honest with you, but you can go the smart way and get results really quick that you can keep long term. That's possible when you have the right information and the right guidance. Okay, cool. But yeah, that's all I actually wanted to talk about. We got through the list quite quickly, I think. But yeah, that was just a bunch of mistakes on what you need to actually focus on if you really want to lose your belly fat and just your body fat in general. So if you found that video useful, make sure you leave a like and that you subscribe for more videos. I've got one new video coming every week, guaranteed. I might do 2 a week sometimes, but whatever amount of videos are there, they're going to be really full of value. So make sure you really take it in.